about football.
He's fast. Oh.
He's pretty quick. All right, anyway, guys. Well, sorry about that.
Looks like he's off to the bedroom with Eric's dinner, so let's try to bring this back around. I'm sorry, we got a little diverted here. I didn't mean to. Let's get this back to reality. We're not going to belay this point because anybody who watched this game could see that this was a miserable game in nearly every aspect of the game. I mean, maybe special teams was all right. There wasn't any great returns. There were some good returns, okay returns by Burleson, but you know, the defense, as spoken earlier, is decimated by injuries. The rest of this team is decimated by injuries. I don't like it. I hate the fact that this looks like last year redone over again, but that's what we're looking at. We've got half of our team, basically our starters, out of the game in the second half, and not just that, but the most crucial important positions: quarterback, both of your tackles on offense, your best defensive tackle, your two best linebackers right now, your best cornerback. The list goes on, and at some point this catches up to you. You can't just expect to throw second tier guys in there and go pick up right where the last guy left off. There's a reason that those guys are tier one. And this kind of proved it today. They made stops on most of the plays, but to me, if Loaf is in that game and healthy at 100%, those huge runs probably aren't going to happen in this game. I think he's the difference there.
Well, okay, so let's talk about the injuries real quick. I mean, we had Walter Jones. He's still out.
Right.
He was out because he wanted to, right? I mean, he's practicing. He could have realistically played today. We decided to keep him out.
Yeah.
We went Lofa. Why was Lofa out?
Lofa has a hamstring thing that was a game-time decision. I think he stepped in there for a couple of plays and thought he was hurting the team, so he just stepped out. I don't know that he suffered something more.
How many weeks?
This team, they lie. I mean, not lie, but I'm sorry, did I say lie? I meant
Bend the truth.
Veil. They don't. Whatever they give you seems to always be. You can. It's like it's like asking a girl how many men she's been with. You basically can times 3 to anything she says.
Okay, so if they say 2 weeks, it's the whole season.
It's 6 weeks.
Okay.
You can take the girl thing on it on that one.
Okay, so Leroy Hill.
Leroy is going to be out to the bye, it looks like, but I'm worried even more so with this guy. They started out with 2 weeks, then he's got this thing come off the bone, and then it's a maybe surgery, maybe not. As soon as he goes under the knife, he's gone for the season. And he is the biggest concern probably of all of our injuries right now.
Okay.
Trufant looks like he's coming back with the back, and Mabane is a week-to-week thing too with the calf. All right,
let's go over that. So Trufant, what's his deal? Why has he been out?
He's got the back injury. Anybody who's had a back injury knows these things just sometimes they get better all of a sudden. Sometimes they just will not go away for a while.
So is this one of those we're protecting him?
It's protecting him. The coaching staff seems to have this philosophy right now of let's protect everybody as much as we can. Let's not push anybody who's even slightly injured and keep everybody healthy because it's a long season and we're at the very start.
So let me interrupt. So are they thinking that we've got this locked down? We're okay. We're going to play 500 football till the bye or something? I mean, is that what we're doing here?
I think that's how they see it right now, is that they see when they get Walter back, when they get Marcus back, when they get a couple of these elements already added to a good mixture, that's going to be combustible. And then at that point, they can do that run. They're looking at how the Cardinals of last year, the Steelers of 05, had those magical runs probably, and they played 500 ball up into a certain point, and then they just skyrocketed the rest of the season. And maybe that's what they're trying to prime themselves to do here, is to set themselves in a point to skyrocket with everybody coming back healthy.
Okay, we're just guessing, but that's kind of the thought.
Yeah, this is conjecture. I mean, I can't understand anything else. Otherwise, this team just either has a horrible strength and conditioning coach, or they don't push their players to go out there when they're injured to play. I don't know which. Who knows? But
okay. Lastly, we got Mabane. So he was out, dude. We crazy detrimental, and
he was caught. If he was in there, those runs don't happen as much.
Okay, so we would have stopped those runs. Like that's what
He is. It went up the middle. It went up the middle, right up his gap. And he's a guy who, I mean, as much as he does penetration, he holds the gap as well as anyone else on our defensive line. So, he would have been a difference out there too. It comes down to half your team's out. You're going to lose against another NFL team. If you're going to play a college team, maybe you'll have a chance. But against an NFL team, half your team out means it's going to be a long day. You're going to have things like that happen, breakdowns, long runs. The team played pretty good considering.
So we had Aaron Curry out there, and the other two guys were just dudes.
Yeah, Herring played well enough. He was good for the most part in the run, but it's sort of like he's going to be good for 80%, and that 20% of the time that he's bad, he's going to be really bad. And Jordan Babineau, he's out there to be a cover safety kind of. That's his role. He can play the run decently, but again.
I was going to ask you about that. Lawyer Malloy, right?
Yeah, I don't know why Lawyer wasn't in there. The Lawyer was signed to kind of tandem with Jordan Babineau. Lawyer would come in and he'd play the rundowns and play a run-stopping safety, and then Babineau would come in on these third and longs, second and longs, and he would be the cover safety. And what's happened is we've just seen Jordan Babineau from the start. I haven't seen one Lawyer Malloy appearance, much less active. So I don't know if they just aren't happy with his conditioning, or he's not ready, or they just want, again, they're trying to like brace everything for the second half stretch run is how they're looking at it maybe.
Okay. So, let's kind of segue off of the defensive line. We'll go right into the offense. The offensive line wasn't really holding them back. What injuries are we maybe kind of looking at there? Is there anything? Because, Matt was getting... The way Matt looked before he got injured and was out of the game was like he was under... Like he was thinking about the pressure. Like they were bringing the pressure. He was feeling it, and he was throwing early. He was making bad decisions. Can you...
I know Matt was sacked, I think, to start off the game. But you're right. Both him and Seneca displayed a lot of that. And Seneca's just known for doing that. That's one of the problems with Seneca as a starting quarterback in this league is he will sense pressure when it's not there and not sense pressure when it is there. And that's what we saw a little bit of today. And that's why he's not a good running quarterback either, despite the fact that he's a marvelous athlete. It's because he just doesn't know those prime moments to run all the time, and he just can't benefit off of it.
How do you learn that, though? Is that
I think it's no. I think at this point he's a 30-year-old guy. If he was going to learn this at this point, he's going to learn it. He's not going to learn it. It's going to be part of his repertoire. It's like Matt with his early game weirdness. It comes with the package at this point.
Well, we need to trust Yoda on that one. He said,
I understand why Matt was freaking out because he goes, I've got 3 starters out in this game, and I'm going to be under pressure. What was happening was our line was holding up. I didn't see as much pressure being happening on our quarterbacks as these guys were anticipating. It seemed like the fault lied with the quarterbacks in a lot of respects to me with when they got shaky and they were just trying to get rid of the ball. And I know you want to get the ball out of there. You don't want to hold it for too long, but these guys were holding it up. There was nobody who was coming back there hitting him at all. And this last week, same thing. So I was the one place that played good in this game, the one element of defensive line, cornerbacks, everything else. The cornerbacks played pretty good, but the offensive line played pretty good in pass protection. They weren't as good in the run game, but in pass protection, great performance as far as what you consider all the factors. Guys injured, guys playing for the first time in this. Brandon Fryer we signed just this preseason, so he's not like some developing guy. So, but it was
okay.
I'm hoping Branch comes back. Deion Branch will give the offense another playmaker. It gives Burleson, you saw today what he could do and couldn't do. The guy's good, but he has his limitations. And you saw him today. He's good for a drop pass a game. He's dropped 2 of them today.
So you think Branch can bring it back? If you had Branch in the game, he'd be a little bit more...
I think he's just a little more reliable when he's in. Okay. He can't stay healthy is the problem. And the other thing it allows is that maybe we can get Burleson out to punt returner where he needs to be, in my opinion. Nate should be able to return punts, injury or not. He's the best punt returner we have by far. The guy's good for 15, 20 yards. It seems like almost a pop on that. And if Branch comes in healthy, if Butler's healthy, if Hushmanzadeh's healthy enough, and you got Carlson still, with that many guys, you need to find ways to get the balls in their hands. And that's the way I see you do it.
Okay, well then, I feel a little bit better with Yoda, everything else that's happened.
Yoda, but he's a calming influence.
Yeah, exactly. Let's wrap up this game. How do we feel about it at the end of the day? From what you're kind of telling me, I feel like, we can't really base the team off this, but let me hear your thoughts.
Well, you can't base this performance and say that, like I said, this pegs us into a certain slot. It is still, though, another performance where, again, we're on the road, and again, we failed. Again, our offense came out stagnant and nowhere near looking as strong as they do at home. That difference in performance is going to catch up to the Hawks. It has in past years. It will again in this year. Matt supposedly is okay, and he's only got a bruised rib, but again highlights the fact that he's very brittle. I think this again shows that this is his last year in Seattle at this point. Yes, even one half could do that. I think this front office literally came into the season and they said, if Matt cannot come out there and play 4 quarters, a 16-game schedule, we're going to go another way.